Throughout the history of man, marking of the skin has been practiced all over the world. The oldest known tattoo was found on a 7,000-year-old mummy, discovered in northern Chile. But what has turned this ancient spiritual practice into a widely accepted modern-day art form? Welcome to Middlesbrough. Once well known for its iron and steel works, it's now a thriving university town. But what does Middlesbrough have to do with tattooing? Well, besides there being a tattoo shop on every corner and someone being tattooed even more frequently, it's the home to the famous explorer and expeditionist Captain James Cook. Captain Cook first began his explorations in 1768 when he discovered the Tahitian Islands. And it was here that he was greeted by natives with marked skin. And they called this TATAU. I've had the opportunity to sit down with two experts in the field to discuss the history of tattooing. A tattoo blogger from Florida and a local tattoo artist from Middlesbrough.
My name's Elisha Neubauer. I'm a blogger for TATAU.com.
My name's Phil Simpson. My tattoo studio is called The Mark Upon Cain Tattoo Art.
I honestly just, one of the things that I tend to write about the most is how long the practice has been in use.
Adam and Eve had two sons, Cain and Abel. And Cain was jealous of Abel and he killed Abel. And God then set a mark upon Cain. You see, it's the first ever documented tattoo, the oldest traditional tattoo. So I don't know if people don't see it that way, but I see it as a tattoo.
It started from the earliest tattoos that have been documented. I talked about the Iceman. He's the oldest person that's been found with fully completed tattoos on his body.
The word tattoo was brought into this country by a man, well, brought into the West, even by a man from Middlesbrough called Captain James Cook.
He is responsible for the word tattoo actually making it into Western civilization. He was a really important piece. I mean, we wouldn't have the understanding of the culture that we have now without his journey to the Tahitian Islands. We wouldn't have the word in the form that it is used now.
Before that, it was just marking people's skin. It was just like, they'd have like simple symbols or lines on people's skin. It was nothing then, but they brought back the technique of doing it in a more detailed way.
I mean, obviously tattooing has been around for well over 5,000 years as far as we're aware. But it was actually stopped in what they call civilized countries, basically in Europe, by Pope Hadrian in about 700. And Cook was actually the first one that traveled far enough into islands that hadn't been affected by Christianity and was able to bring that practice back to the UK, to Europe. He brought people with him that were tattooed. His own sailors were getting tattooed. He brought back journals and illustrations.
Because they were sailors, that's why so much traditional tattooing, or seen as traditional tattoo, has been like swallows, ships, pin-up women, things like that. The wrong tattooing was already there, marking each other's skin tribally was already there, but it's like that style of tattooing was invented here.
It used to be that tattooing was a rite of passage, for the older tribes and older societies. So it's really interesting to see how it's changed and how it went from it was only acceptable if you had tattoos to now it's the other way around. So I'm kind of hoping that we revert and go back to the original form of tattooing where it was more accepted, more expected than it is today.